My dad and I are on a quest to dominate and win trophies against each other. Also known as the Glory Hunter Challenge, we have to win the League and Cup in 5 of the biggest European leagues, as well as the Champions League and Europa. And after completing Germany, winning both trophies in just 3 seasons, Dad has moved to Roma. Whereas after a bad season joining Dad in Germany, my second season at Dortmund was successful, picking up the Bundesliga trophy. However, the temptation of leaving Champions Dortmund has unexpectedly come because Bayern Munich has become available. And after assessing the two sides, I do think my chances of winning the DFB-Pokal and possibly the Champions League has increased if I move to Munich. Dad is sticking to his Roma side though and strengthening his defence with the signing of Todibo on a free transfer, which is excellent value, as well as Oscar Gluck for again a free transfer, who is a fantastic attacking threat. I hadn't heard anything from Bayern Munich yet, so I carried on my task of improving Dortmund by signing Ibanez in defence. And the current favourite for the job was Conceição at AC Milan, which could leave them open for Dad. Eventually though, I was given the opportunity to talk and invited in for an interview. And just days later, I was offered the job to become the new Bayern Munich manager, betraying the Dortmund fans and moving to the biggest rivals in hope of DFB Pokal success. The first thing I did was bringing in £64 million signing of Nicolas Dominguez as a defensive midfielder to increase the squad depth. Hilariously, Dad was offered an interview at Dortmund, which of course he declined. And he was then signing a 32-year-old Simeone for £25 million, which as we know is very much unlike his usual transfer business. Followed by a 33-year-old Fabinho, but in this case, the value of the transfer was much more reasonable. I had a big offer that I had to accept for Kim Min-jae at centre-back from Al Nassr, and that's because I had a better replacement in mind. And so, for £72 million, I signed Mickey van der Ven, who I think is better and covers 2 positions. My final signing for Bayern Munich was Jan Couto at right-back, who has the attacking threat I'm looking for my full-back positions in my new system at Bayern Munich, which was a classic 4-2-3-1 using attacking fullbacks, and the side I have here at Bayern really suits this too, although I do have a couple of injuries where key players such as Musiala and Kimmich will be missing the beginning of the season. Dad was looking to rock an offset 4-4-2 with an attacking playmaker using Gluck, but with very much defensive roles for his DMs. My decision to switch into Bayern Munich was instantly put to the test where I played Dortmund in my 3rd match of the league season, where Kane got a hat-trick in a fantastic 5-2 victory at home. Dad, on the other hand, was getting mixed signals about his system as he lost the opening fixture 3-2 at home to Milan, but then followed that up with an 8-1 win before losing at home again to Monza. Well, Dad, very inconsistent results at the start of the season, ending with a 5-2 win away from Empoli. You just can't win at home.
No, that's a big problem. I just don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I thought get away with a good, get on with a good start with a Milan game, and I thought I'll be up and away now, but losing it then 8-1. I thought right, I'm back in it again, but and then I go and lose again. So I don't know what's going on at the moment.
2 from 2 though, not too bad, but obviously for the league, it's got to
be better. It's got to be better.
So speaking of leagues, I won the Bundesliga last year with Borussia Dortmund, but I am no longer with Borussia Dortmund, of course. I'm at Bayern Munich. Thoughts on my switch? Good move, bad move? What's your opinion on it?
Bayern are always there or thereabouts every season, so I think it's a good move.
Yeah. With only the cup to win in Germany.
They're always there or thereabouts in it. So you just know that I just know you're going to win it. That's how I feel.
They won it last year.
If it'd been me and I jumped ship, I would lose it. I know I would. So, but it's a good. They got a good squad. So
still got the likes of Harry Kane. I'm locking in Jan Couto because Rudiger goes right back, and he's not much of a right back, to be honest. But I mean, the only downside is I'm out with Kimmich for 2 to 3 months, but Musiala's out for 3 to 5 months.
Yeah.
So arguably my 2 best players, Musiala and Kimmich, I think are the 2 best players in this Bayern Munich side, aren't in the team until January.
Yeah.
The good thing is DFB Pokal
don't start till January.
Well, it does. It starts, but it doesn't get difficult until January.
True,
I might be able, unless I get a bad draw, of course. But at the minute, I've got Freiburg. Could be a difficult draw. They're in the Bundesliga. They could be capable of beating me. I just need to get through. Get to January, then I think I stand a bit of a chance. But my other thinking with moving to Bayern Munich is the Champions League.
Yeah.
They got arguably one of the best teams in Europe.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I think this team is more of a solid pick to win a Champions League, more so than Dortmund would be. So that was my thinking anyway. And obviously I didn't really change much when I joined. 3 players came in, as you can see there. Dominguez, Mickey van der Ven, and
good Spurs player there, I see.
Jan Kuto. Yeah, so did a couple of players, but yeah, into a simple 4-2-3-1, and we started the season very well indeed. We conceded quite a lot though, that is worry, but we did just beat Dortmund 5-2 after actually losing against them in the Super Cup, but I don't really care about Super Cups.
5-2 is a good win, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So it was a good start to the season.
Nice hat-trick for Harry Kane, so yeah, good start.
I even got to play him again in the Champions League, so more games against Dortmund. But of course, you've got European football next season in a competition which we keep saying is the hardest to win.
Oh,
Europa League.
It's another chance at it, and to be honest, this is the main reason why I stayed.
Yeah.
I looked at changing the sort of team. No, there wasn't an obvious team that came up available for me to move to, but the Europa League was just like pulling my tag out, sort of saying, just stay, because you never know.
Yeah.
So I'm a good side in this league.
Yeah, so, definitely. Got some tricky games.
Newcastle, I mean, Newcastle's going to be an hard game. Porto's going to be an hard game, but I'm in with a really good chance.
Tottenham, Atalanta.
They're going to do me again.
Yeah, Tottenham could do you again. We'll see. Let's have a look then. Let's see if either of us can get further in Europe. But of course, we've both got cups to win. Dad, you've also got the league. It's going to be an interesting season in the Glory Hunter. Knowing just how good my Bayern Munich side is, I genuinely think I could be one of the favourites to win the Champions League this season. However, I was quite disappointed with how bad our league phase form was, as we finished in 13th and even got battered by my old Dortmund side. Dad was facing a similar scenario in the Europa League, dropping into the playoff round of the competition. Tammy Abraham, though, has been on fire for Dad, and Roma actually have 2 top scorers of the league, but still sit in second place for now. That's because Inter Milan are having a fantastic season and are 6 points clear of Roma, but look how many goals Tammy has, flying with 20 already. Unfortunately for Dad, he couldn't keep that form up in the Coppa Italia, and it was another extra time loss. Bayern Munich is top in the Bundesliga, but of course it is the DFB-Pokal I am most concerned with as we get to the quarter-final stage. Dan manages to go through the playoff round of the Europa League in a tight matchup against Fenerbahce, before going 3-1 up in the first leg at the round of 16 against Valencia thanks to 2 goals from Oscar Gluck. But an absolute disastrous second leg where a 91st minute equaliser took it to extra time where Valencia pinched the winner. And after getting through the playoff round, I then faced Borussia Dortmund again in the round of 16 and knocked them out, going on to face Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. My Munich side then beat Wolfsburg in the quarters of the DFB-Pokal, and we have a date with the second best team in the country in the semis. Before then, I unfortunately got a taste of what Dad's been going through recently, as a very late extra time goal from Manchester City knocked me out of the Champions League. Dad had nothing to play for in Rome after Inter Milan were crowned champions with 4 games remaining, as Roma still have the 2 top scorers. But the semi-final of the DFB-Pokal was the most important game of my season so far, and boy did my guys show up as we destroyed Leipzig 3-0, booking our ticket in the final to face Mainz. Before then, we were crowned champions of the Bundesliga for the 2nd year in a row with 2 different teams. Dad's end of the season after Inter was crowned champions was really bad, and they sneakily fell into the Europa League qualifications next season. However, I was too concerned with completing Germany, and an unexpected turn of events with a real bad kit clash, Mainz took the lead, and it wasn't until the 92nd minute of the match before Harry Kane managed to equalise for us. This sent the game to penalties, where thankfully we were clinical and our keeper was fantastic, and we very unconvincingly won the DFB Pokal to add the trophy to our cabinet, completing our second nation of 5 in our Glory Hunter quest. Well, it went down to penalties. But I got the job done.
Of course you did.
In a huge kit clash, by the way. I don't like the fact that we were wearing white and they were wearing red and white. Like, that's a bit worrying. But we got the job done. Harry Kane saved our bacon then. 92nd minute equaliser to take it to penalties. And our keeper saved 2 of them. Fantastic stuff. That is Germany for me ticked off.
Another one done, and I'm still struggling in Italy.
Yeah. I'm off to my next country.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately, I couldn't do the Champions League at that point. Manchester City were too strong for me. Real Madrid went on to win it. But hey, I'm not too worried. We did win the league quite comfortably again. Dad, it was kind of a mediocre season, which was by
very early.
End of April.
Yep.
Coppa Italia, that's a disappointing one.
Oh, definitely.
In the third round. Sassuolo are 10th, but to get that draw and be eliminated at that early stage. Round of 16 by Valencia.
I was thereabouts halfway through the season, then I just started dropping off again. So
yeah. Oh yeah, you were. To be fair, even towards the end of the season, you were sticking in like that second, third place. But Inter Milan just run away with it.
Yeah.
They won the season with 4 games left, and you can't catch them.
No.
Round of 16 in the Europa League, you were up against Valencia, chucked it away, which is disappointing. Newcastle, as we highlighted, went on to play against Tottenham in the final. And 1-2-1.
They lost that banging final, didn't they? Why can't they lose the one they played against me?
Yeah, so Newcastle and Real Madrid are the European champions this season. What are you thinking in terms of this squad? They're scoring goals, 28 goals for both Colombo and Tammy Abraham. I think in the Serie A there, you had the 2 top scorers.
Yeah.
So
that's not the
you
problem.
are scoring.
Yeah, conceding goals, leaking goals too many, I think.
Yeah, if you're conceded, like you're not even on the list.
Yeah.
Or a clean sheet should joint 5th.
So I think just probably make the midfield a little bit stronger and definitely look at the defence.
Yeah.
Possibly a goalkeeper as well. So that's if I stay. It's that thing again, isn't it? Look where I finished in the league, and it's that Europa League spot again, isn't it? And I'm thinking, do I just stay because I'm building a good side, and I'm just outside of.
I don't know whether you are really sneaky here, because towards the end of the season, where you were 2nd and 3rd place in Champions League spots, you then lost to Venezia, Juve, Inter, and secured yourself a nice, comfortable finish in 5th place in Europa League next season.
You're saying I lost against Juventus and Inter. Look where both teams they finished. Both of them finished above me.
Yeah, Venezia finished in 15th.
Yeah. So
you snuck into Europa League there to make sure you're playing in that competition again next season. Smart move. It's the hardest one.
Oh, definitely. If I can get that one under the bag, so I'll be happy as Larry. But
because job-wise right now it's only Napoli, which finished below you, and there's no like insecure clubs that I think you would be interested. Well, there isn't any because you've done Germany, so there isn't any insecure clubs.
If you look at that, I'd be silly to leave.
Yeah,
because I'm sort of like I'm almost built a good side.
Yeah.
Just a couple players out of having a good side that can definitely challenge for this league.
Yeah.
Which is all I'm interested in. The Europa League is a bonus and I get it.
Yeah.
But I've got to get out of this league.
What could happen, though, is when I leave, somebody big takes my job.
Yeah.
Somebody big comes in for the Bayern
Yeah, that's what I've got hope for, really.
The
merry-go-round, as we call it.
That means that I get the job. But anyway, Matisse Tell's my top scorer, which is a bit unexpected. He played from the left-hand side. I was expecting it to be more Harry Kane, but he only got 18 goals and not that many assists either. Eventually, when Joshua Kimmich came into the side, he still played 39 games, to be fair. He played really well. But Jamal Musiala only managing to get 18 games after his bad injury. That's a shame that I never really got to click with Jamal Musiala, because he is one of the best players to play with on look how bloody good he is. And I got half a season with him. Disappointing.
And he's still cheap as well.
Yeah, he's still
under
good.
100 million.
Yeah. Do I go to a club that has that money? Very much doubt it, because there's nothing available right now. But when I do leave, there could be. We've already added the trophy to the cabinet, so now I've just got to resign and move on.
You're not thinking about staying and go for the Champions League again?
No, what a stupid decision that would be. Honestly, no wonder why I'm in the lead in this. That would be dumb indeed. So my first port of call is to resign from Bayern Munich and look for what's next. But this for Dab was positive, because in a way, I have nowhere to go yet, allowing him free reign at transfers like Emile Smith-Rowe, although he was having to delay certain signings waiting for departures of other players. But once Battaglia had left the club, Dab was able to bring Calafiori back to Rome and complete a massive transfer for the Italian. Finally, some manager movement for me though, as Arteta leaves Arsenal to take over Bayern Munich, leaving the Gunners wide open for a Megalut to swoop right in as the new gaffer. They finished in 3rd place last season and have really improved their side with some good signings. And when I was offered an interview, I was buzzing to hear the transfer budget of £200 million. It's international season though too, and lots of nations are sacking their managers, and a lot of them are straight up offering me the job without even having to do an interview, but of course I'm rejecting them. To my shock though, I was rejected from Arsenal because Pep Guardiola was available, leaving PSG to come back to the Prem. Scaloni, however, has left Portuguese champions to go to Germany to become the new Leipzig manager, and that's made things interesting. I of course applied, got myself an interview, and thankfully this time I was chosen to become the new manager of Porto, and I was very happy to accept as we now look to win trophies in Portugal. While that saga was going on though, Dad was trying to sign himself a new goalkeeper and brought Turati off of Sassuolo while selling his goalkeeper at the same time. I was looking at what I had here at Porto, and despite losing Samu to Dad's Leipzig side a few seasons ago, they have so many strikers here. And so I set up with that in mind, using a 3-striker formation with 2 deep-lying forwards who will drift wide. What I was needing was a centre midfielder to bring in, and I found one, and I went to rival Sporting as he was transfer listed for £11 million. And so I welcomed in Daniel Bragança to the club, who I want to utilise in the centre midfield on attack role this season. My first game in charge was in fact Porto's second league game of the season, and it was a cracking 7-0 win where Mitrovic scored 4. He also scored a 95th minute equaliser against Sporting to bring us back from being 2-0 down. Unfortunately for Dad though, his season in Rome has not started great with just 1 win in 4 games. Well, Dad, it's been a bit of a rocky start to the season.
Oh, I can't believe it's the same start as I had last season, virtually, isn't it? It's awesome.
Atalanta win, but
that's a really good win. I'm thinking, I'm happy with that.
3 losses.
Florentina, I'm really disappointed, especially at home.
Yeah.
You know, your first game at home,
2 late goals as well.
Yeah, you just want to get away with, get a win underneath the belt and then go.
Yeah, Napoli, whose course job was up last season. Simeone took it. So he's been out of a job for a while.
That's made it even worse.
Yeah, because he got sacked at Atletico Madrid, which we did see. Then, of course, losing to Monza.
That was really bad.
Interesting. But you got Europa League fixtures. This is, again, the competition that we both desire to win as soon as possible. But Manchester United's in there in an away tie. 4 in a row away ties.
Yeah.
Brighton at the end of the season, but other than that, should be okay. In terms of the clubs that are in there, Tottenham again.
Man United, yeah.
Who, of course, got to the final last year, Man United. Yourself. Other than that, no, I don't really think
I should do well in this.
Yeah.
I think
if you avoid those 2, you should win it.
I reckon no less than semi-final. I'd be disappointed if I don't get to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Then it's like you say, it's who you come up against then.
Yeah, but some good signings I think you made. I mean, the Calafiori one was expensive considering the money that you have been given, but he does work well in 2 different positions.
That's right. He's 2 good positions, and it just strengthens my defence up. And I'm looking at the results at the moment. You wouldn't have thought so,
no, because you got a new goalkeeper in as well.
I mean, Emil Smith Rowe as well. I thought that was a really good freebie as well.
Yeah, classic ex-Arsenal player.
So I'm pleased with that
what
signing.
You would like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll go right into my team. Just what sort of position I want to play him in at the moment. So I'm playing around with that at the moment. So
yeah. I mean, you're rocking the classic 4-3-3/4-4-2 kind of with Gluck in that.
I don't know whether to move Smith Rowe up and across or leave him where he was. So I think just for the moment I've gone for where he is at the moment, just to sort of make my defence, midfield a little bit stronger.
Okay. Well, I have moved to Porto. Now, of course, not a lot of options came up. Arsenal rejected me.
Yeah.
Because Arteta moved to Bayern Munich. I thought that was perfect. We could just do a job swap, can't we? But no, Pep Guardiola came in and took over Arsenal. But the Porto job did come up. And I looked at their side first and I thought, that's not that good. Then I seen that they actually won the league last year and I thought, how? They don't have, obviously, Samuel Marodi on. You had signed him already. Yeah. So I'm going for a 4-3-3. It's working at the minute at the start of the season. We've done all right, although we have drawn 2 games. We've drawn against Estoril, which is quite bad.
I'll say that was a disappointment, but that was all right.
But drawing away to Sporting, that's fine. 95th minute equaliser.
2-0 down.
Yeah.
Good comeback.
So not too bad at all. We are in the Champions League, so I don't get the blessing of course, being in the Europa League. I doubt I can win the Champions League with Porto. I mean, I have done 6 extraordinary things on Football Manager, but I don't think that's going to be possible. And we only signed 1 player, and it was a Sporting player in Daniel Bragança. There was no money here at the club. I'm locking him into that left-sided centre midfield on attack position. But the rest of the team, I mean, I've also locking in Ilkana into here because really I think this is kind of going to be what it will be when I do lock him in, is have Demirovic up front, because Ilkana's quite young. He just needs some good game time. I think Demirovic is a classic pressing forward type of striker, and we all know about Mitrovic there, who can be a bit of a monster too.
He is, yeah.
So The likes of Sean Longstaff's here.
What a player.
Yeah. We don't even have Diogo Costa. This side has been stripped away. There's only the bare bones of what was a very good Porto side here, and I don't think they've replaced very well. But hey, with a good system, I still think we've got players that we could potentially win a cup and challenge for the league, and that's my aim this season. So
hopefully you fail.
Well, we'll see. Let's see if anybody picks up a trophy this year. Well, Dad will certainly be happy with his league phase campaign in Europa League as he avoids the playoff round. Whereas in Portugal, domestically, I couldn't be happier with my new side, remaining unbeaten for the rest of 2028 until we played our first game of the new year in the Cup and lost on pens. We were doing very well in the league though, and 8 points clear, but also top in the league phase of the Champions League, only losing to Inter Milan and even beating Liverpool. Speaking of Inter Milan, that's who Dad has next in the Coppa Italia, and who is also top in the Serie A, while Dad's Roma sits in 7th. Unfortunately, Coppa Italia quarterfinals was as far as Dad could get thanks to Inter Milan, but he cruised through to the round of 16 of the Europa League and into the quarterfinals to face Brighton. However, the round of 16 was as far as I got in Europe, despite our good league phase as Newcastle knocked us out 3-1. I was still unbeaten in the league though at this point, and still very confident to go on to lift the Portuguese title. And a win at the end of April against Boa Vista was in fact enough to be crowned champions with just a few games to spare. Annoyingly, however, we couldn't go unbeaten as we lost against Benfica towards the back end of the campaign, but I'm still happy as it's another trophy to add to our cabinet. With Inter being crowned champions of Italy, Dad's sole focus was on the Europa League as they progressed into the semi-finals and find themselves 2-1 down after the first leg. But a second half goal in the second leg for Roma took the game to extra time, which has not been in Dad's favour recently in this journey. But this time, however, Baldanzi's goal in the first half of extra time gave them the lead, and Pellegrini's second secured Roma's trip to the final against Manchester United. With the final in Hamburg, a tight contest, seeing Ugarte pick up a weak second yellow card and put Manchester United down to 10 men. And this is where Roma capitalised, scoring the only goal of the game to go on and lift the Europa League trophy, much to Dad's delight. Well, Dad, you got the hardest trophy done.
Oh, that's a big Brucey bonus for me there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so pleased with that. That makes being at Roma worth it.
Yeah.
Just getting that one trophy in the bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Beating Man United in the final there was two clubs that we mentioned. Obviously, Spurs had already beat you in this final.
Yep.
When you first or second season,
whatever
it was. Yeah. But Manchester United defeated in this final 1-0 as well. They were down to 10 men, which did obviously help you when Ugarte got himself sent off. Well done.
Oh,
that's the hardest one.
So pleased with that.
That is the hardest one.
That really sort of makes it a bit better now for me now.
Yeah. I mean, you had Galatasaray, so you had a tricky semi-final as well. Brighton along
Man United
the way.
beat Spurs.
Yeah, Man United was the one who knocked out Spurs. You did all right in the group as well.
Yeah.
You only lost to Manchester United in the group. Drew 2 and obviously won 5. A nice little 8-2 in there as well. Some big goals being scored. Domestically, though, it wasn't as impressive. Milan is causing you a lot of trouble here in Italy.
Quarter-final.
Quarter-final there, and obviously running away again with a title by 10 points.
I'm not even close to them, am I really?
No.
So, but I'm building a side. That's the thing. I'm looking at it now and thinking, do I carry on? What's available? Is it better? Do I just try and get Italy out of the way?
Yeah.
I mean, that one there's such a big Brucey bonus for me. It's just like I'm thinking, there's one big trophy that I know you could really struggle on.
Yeah,
I've got it in the bag.
Yeah,
because when I eventually move away from Rome, I could pick up a big side, then I just concentrate on the
Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it at all.
No.
That's a huge one, really.
Yeah, so I don't know now.
So that's massive for you. Now, you mentioned other opportunities. There might be some.
Is there?
We'll have a look. But, Porto. My first season in Porto, I thought I was going to do it all in one go, and then somehow this Arouca side knocked me out on penalties in the Taça de Portugal. I won the other cup, but we're not counting that one. I know I can run her up in that one, but I got to the final anyway. Round of 16 in the Champions League, but I ran away with the league itself.
Yeah.
Only losing one game, which was to Benfica, so I do have another trophy ticked off in Portugal.
I need you to struggle in one of the leagues just for like 2 or 3 seasons like I've been doing. So like,
yeah.
You just seem to be going there, bang, thank you very much, off I go again. Oh, at least I got that big one in the bag.
Yeah. And I can't even get to it unless I move club.
That's right, yeah.
But I'll be silly to move club right now because of obviously needing to go for that Portuguese Cup.
Well, yeah, you got business to finish over there, which is helps me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I could do with you losing silly games like
that. I had all 5. Most clean sheets and most goals. This was an easy league title, just really bad in the cup. I'm disappointed with that. But yeah, I mean, not a bad side really. 30 goals for Mitrovic, but he is leaving at the end of the season. He is joining Al Ahly, unfortunately, so I am going to be losing 30 goals and 15 assists this season. That's something I need to look at replacing. But I had loaned out Gomez this season, who has got a lot better just from that loan alone. In the same country, 19 goals and 2 assists at worse clubs. So that's not too bad. I've also got Danny Namaso who can step in as well. So if I haven't found a replacement, I've got options. £19 million though does suggest that I have enough to bring somebody in to Portugal.
Good for that league.
Absolutely, to fill in that gap. Now, in Rome, Dad, obviously we mentioned the goals that you were scoring last season. Not as much this season.
No.
Despite having a trophy, 24 goals, 17 for Colombo. But it ain't bad.
It's nearly there.
Yeah.
Nearly there, I think.
If you're looking at, obviously, your transfer budget, you're not getting anything.
They're not supporting me at all, mate.
No.
So I've got to create my own transfer. I mean, my midfield's good, and I feel if I move Smith Rowe up now, my forward line is almost there as well. It's just, it's just my defence really. I just feel just a little bit weak, possibly left back.
Yeah, Tavares isn't the best.
No.
If you move that Calafiori to that left-hand side...
Yeah, that's what... So I could possibly do with a really good centre-back, really.
And look at that position. Reg isn't bad, and obviously he fills all 3 positions.
Yeah, I mean, he's good for that. I mean, if I could get another one in his position, then I've got him as a very good backup for all 3 positions, like you say. So that's what I'm looking at the moment. That's if I stay.
But would you stay? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because there are 2 teams that have popped up, and there's also an insecure club that I think piques both of our interests. And that is because the jobs that are available are Tottenham Hotspur and Atalanta, with Arne Slot's job at Liverpool after they finish in 6th as also insecure. So do we make the move? Well, before we make that decision, we've got to add trophies to our cabinet. Yes, my switch to Porto sees another trophy added to my Glory Hunter cabinet, with just the Taça de Portugal left here to do. But Dad might not be picking up any Italian-based trophies yet. However, the Europa League is done, and something he doesn't have to be concerned with no more. But what would you do in his position though? Would you stay in Rome? Would you move to Spurs? Or try to rattle Liverpool? Well, I guess you will have to stay tuned to Glory Hunter to find out.